Even Piers Morgan, one of the biggest media talking heads who has supported Israel's genocide since day one. He's been supportive of Israel, been like, well, look, how else are they going to stop Hamas, and et cetera. But anyway, here's a 1-minute clip of he's talking to Mehdi Hassan, who's Mehdi Hassan has a lot of problems with his stances on things, but he's been good on Israel, and he was fired from MSNBC for his stance, on Israel, for calling out this genocide. But anyway, here's Piers Morgan talking to Mehdi Hassan.
Since it started, this phase of the 75-year conflict. And I have resisted going as far as you have done in your criticism of the Israeli government. I resist no more. I think we've reached common ground about what we view is happening and has been happening through this period of this blockade, which frankly is just starvation of the people there, including so many innocent young women and children. And I think that the incessant bombing and killing, and we don't know how many civilians have been killed, but it is on a daily basis. It looks like hundreds of people every day, with no apparent attempt, it seems to me, to have any real plan for how this ends or what happens when it ends, other than if you look at what Smotrich has been saying, probably the most right-wing member of a very right-wing government, he is talking in a genocidal language about kicking all the Palestinians out. So I think you and I have reached a place in the last few weeks where we are in agreement.
Pretty incredible reversal. Even Piers Morgan has had enough to some degree. I'm sure he'll continue to have. He loves these debates where people eviscerate him. I mean, there's no one really in media that more gets just shredded every day on his own show than Piers Morgan. It's unclear what, other than clicks, it's unclear what he thinks he's doing or whatever. But to have even him kind of backing away from this position, I mean, the guy has no shame. So for Israel to get to such a point that even Piers Morgan is having shame about this horrific stance endorsing genocide is pretty incredible. And you're just seeing this over and over again. You're seeing so many people that have been very publicly basically supporting Israel, supporting this genocide, and they're backing down. They're falling like flies. Some of them just go quiet. They just kind of stop talking about it. They don't, let's go back to being really, really quiet on this issue. So I'd say that's probably the number one thing you see going on. But then there's others that have had to publicly say, this is just too much. This is just wrong. This is just horrific. Something is happening. Like you feel something out. And I did a segment about it last week as well on the media outlets, these major media outlets that I don't mean they had an article saying what Israel's doing is wrong. This was different. They had editorial, like a statement from their editorial boards. It was Guardian, The Independent, I think maybe one or two others. I think, believe it or not, Financial Times might have been the first to put that forward, but like a editorial board statement saying that what Israel's doing is wrong. And of course, they have ways of, not calling it a genocide. They say like Israel should allow aid in and stuff like that. But